A word for our listeners. Season 2 of Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1930s and 40s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It's not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerds Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our commandos uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring Johnny Brown, Ed Maudlin, Chris Dunn, and Matt Quiett, with John Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the night to Masks of Nyarlathotep. Shut up. I'm Matt, and I'm here with John.
Hello.
And Cullen.
Still not in the credits.
And you want me to edit this, and re-record all this between episodes?
Yes.
Of the same.
I mean, we have 2 months.
2 months.
What's going to happen is he's just going to edit that so you sound really, really petty.
Good. That's what I want.
And Ed.
2 months, man. You had 2 months.
And Rob.
Hello.
And with a special guest, Shirley Niedzwiecki, joining us.
Hello.
As rootin' tootin' jackass cowgirl. Tell me I'm wrong.
Nice.
Rootin', tootin', jackass cowgirl.
She shows up with a shotgun and no papers.
Right.
She had papers.
Is
Oh,
this
did
where
you?
we punch her and throw her out and say no papers? Sorry, that's gonna happen.
No, you don't have
First
a
you have to find a dirigible, and then
Challenge accepted. All right, so John, what's going on?
I don't remember. No.
Everybody's walking out of the room pissed off.
Yeah, everybody's pissed off at each
I'm
other.
just sipping tea.
Yeah.
I don't think we're all pissed at each other. I think the four
Mostly
of
it's
us.
directed
The
at
animosity
Evie and
funnels in
and
one
Evie,
direction.
Yeah.
Well, the major flow of animosity.
Yeah.
Levon's having a drink.
major
I don't
flow.
know what
Yeah.
you guys are doing.
Sorry.
Nice catch. Yeah, I think Kauri and I are both going to the canteen to find Levon and
Taiwan on.
Check on the men.
Yeah.
check on the men and talk about this harpy they just sent over from the States.
So, so
No offense,
Evie
Shirley.
wanted to go to the radio room and send a message back to.
She wanted to go to
Courtney.
the telegraph office.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Step one: drive down to the city.
So you're in
She
the
wants to
radio
send
room.
some money Western Union.
What kind of
I'm gonna
message?
punch you, Ed.
What
Okay.
kind of message do you want to send to Courtney?
Let's see.
Dear Courtney, stop.
Dear
This is
Courtney,
Evelyn.
stop.
They're being mean to me. Stop.
This is
Make them stop.
This
Stop.
is Evie. Stop. Entered hostile territory. Stop. Wait, what is it called?
Non-compliance?
No, well, it's non-compliance, but when you're not
Are
forthcoming.
you
with
paying per
information.
letter?
Like when they don't want to give up any information. What is that? Non-something.
They're being
Non-compliance.
Non-cooperative.
Non-cooperative.
uncooperative, not forthcoming,
Men are uncooperative.
Stubborn.
Wow, sexist.
meanies.
Troops are not.
Insubordinate. Of course,
No.
you're not superior.
Yeah, I'm not superior,
Yeah,
so it's
so.
not insubordination.
Not
Churlish.
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 That's good.
Irascible.
And then
It's got a thesaurus under the table. I think.
What's going on here? Did you pull up?
I've been playing a lot of words with friends lately.
don't think information will be possible. Don't think.
Disrespectful.
What is it? I don't think I can get the information. That's but
Okay.
in as little as a
Alright.
word as possible.
All right, so that's sent off. At which point, one of the men comes in and says, "We've arranged a room for you if you would like to."
It's well
store-
appointed with these bars.
If you would like to stow your belongings in there.
Well,
Insolent, impudent, impertinent, cheeky, flippant.
Cheeky.
cheeky.
Cheeky fellows.
Well, that would be nice. Is it a secure facility? Is
Oh,
it
it's a-
secure?
Oh, it's very secure.
It's a room in the hotel. You will have the corridor to yourself. And the men will be ordered to stay out of it.
That sounds a little dangerous. How about you just show me to the bar so I can get a drink?
Okay. So in walks Evie and sees the three men, Levon Fisk, Kauri Loveridge, and Jack McKenzie.
She just goes straight to the bar and orders herself around, but then orders around for the guys at the table, whatever they're having, and has it sent over. She doesn't join them.
Okay.
So, and she's going to
Is she
basically
trying to pick up all three of us?
keep. That would
Hey.
be
What is your strength
1990.
score?
Ballsy Americans.
Fair. Right.
1990, not and then she'd just stay at the end of the bar.
Okay.
She pulls out a book and kind of reads it as she's drinking. It's
is there anything on the cover? Like, is it a
Is it a Louis L'Amour book?
that would be awesome. No, it's one of the occult books that she had been doing research on when she came over. She
Okay.
thought she'd just do some research, and she's got her notebook out, so she's writing down some notes.
So a Harlequin occult romance novel.
It's funny that you say
Sheila
that.
and the Night Gaunt.
I hate those books. I seriously hate those books. They're stupid.
She pulls out the
I
1940
don't mean
edition of
to-
Twilight.
I don't
She
mean
says
to
that.
offend any of our Harlequin romance readers.
She says that, but she did
they are not
request
for me.
that I read her the Harlequin romance I bought that was a time-traveling Viking.
Oh, the traveling Viking cop.
No, he's not a cop.
Oh.
He's a Marine.
There's also one with the time-traveling Viking cop.
No way.
Sure.
That's hilarious.
Or no, he's not a Marine. He's like an Army. He's a Navy SEAL.
I blame
the
Forever
Navy
Night.
SEAL.
Yeah.
Good.
You guys are weird. All right.
Great show.
Funny.
It certainly was on television.
All right. So, yeah.
all right?
that's what's
So
going
what
on.
do the three men have going on?
So we get these 3 shots.
If
No,
shots?
whatever you're drinking. So
What are we
she's like,
drinking?
I'm probably
Duplicate whatever
drinking
you're
a good
drinking.
Scotch. Like you get something from.
I'm joining you.
Yeah.
Not drinking pure maple syrup.
Maple syrup with Canadian whiskey in it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm
Ooh,
guessing
Crown
that
Maple.
Fisk is drinking a glass of wine.
If we have it, yeah.
Wine?
Would
Grappa.
would Llewellyn have made sure to restock the wine every
Yes.
so often?
All right, then that's what.
We're on Belgium. I believe they have.
I believe it's a thing.
I don't know. I think right now you'd probably be drinking like grappa or something like a little
Uska.
kick.
Well, that's wrong area.
I'll have a grappa. That's what I'm doing.
What's
All right.
grappa?
I don't know.
It's like Italian moonshine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is she within earshot?
Not if you whisper
I'll
or
get
keep your
across the
voice
bar.
down.
So they send an American. Are all Americans like this? I mean, we met a couple, and they didn't seem like
Couple
this.
50.
Well, the ones from Texas are. Hello to all of our Texas listeners.
John and Roxy appreciate it. Is that a Texan accent that she has?
I don't know. Shirley, is that a Texan accent you're affecting?
It's a southern accent.
Okay, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you're a cowgirl, I don't think you're from Louisiana.
No. The thing is, like, I really am been trying to remember.
You're from Kansas.
Okay.
It's like Kansas or,
Yeah.
or Nebraska. It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Which is like Texas light.
Yeah.
It's northern Texas.
Yeah,
It was
it's like, yeah.
Kansas.
Okay.
So I mean,
Because we went across on the was it the Oregon Trail?
I don't know.
Whatever.
It
went
doesn't
through
matter.
the top of Minnesota and then came down.
so
I had a whole background. Worked
she's
out
put a
for
lot of
her.
work into
I
this.
put a
It
lot
doesn't
of
matter
work
for right
into
now,
her.
though.
Okay,
Don't
got
question
it.
it. Let's.
Got it. She followed the Oregon Trail.
Come on.
No,
focus.
No, it was
Focus.
it was a trail that was.
Shirley, we're not focusing.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so she's from Kansas.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know that. I'm just saying Texas because I'm Canadian and I don't
Well,
know
and-
all
and-
the states.
And all of.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, if she were a New Yorker, she would be acting differently. To a non-American, I think we basically break down to East Coast, West Coast, and Texas.
Yeah.
No, there's
Yeah.
Southern isn't.
Well, Chicago has a thing. So there's like 6 kinds of Americans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah.
So what are you guys talking about?
Well,
So Levon, I mean, what as a civvy,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think?
She sucks.
okay, wait a minute. It's not fair because she just left the room that we're now talking shit about her. Although maybe it's better this way for the game.
Yeah.
Because then she doesn't know what her character doesn't know.
Just came in, demanded a whole bunch of stuff from us. We don't know who she is.
I mean,
Kind of rude.
I get that we need to hand off information, and I would be willing to hand off especially classified information given the right tone of the conversation. And I don't feel like we got that.
Right.
I feel like we got a very different tone.
Well, frankly, I find her coming in here and acting like she was going to run the joint to be somewhat untrustworthy behavior.
I also assume that if the wing commander has some sort of issue with how we speak, the wing commander will address it. He doesn't seem like... I mean, I know he's a paper pusher, but he doesn't seem like a weak-willed one.
No.
No.
So...
I don't
Just likes
think
to listen to his men. Nothing wrong with that.
I don't think we've got a problem with the wing commander. I think we've got a problem with our guest.
Well, and how so? Because obviously, the American isn't going to fix this. How do we fix it so we can move forward and benefit British intelligence?
I say we just keep an eye on her. We give her what she asks for, but absolutely no more than we absolutely have to, unless she proves herself worthy of our trust.
That's the map I always just.
Okay.
get.
Okay.
I can't see it.
So yeah, I guess Dixie.
So
yeah,
yeah,
no. Yeah,
Texas.
she's from the Heartland, just north of Dixie.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty solid.
Right on the
For
line.
our viewers, if this makes it in, we're looking at a map on Google that breaks
Enter Montana.
North America down into the various regions
Yeah,
that
the
are both
white north.
politically and historically tied together.
Yeah.
I like that Florida's only South Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is only South Florida.
That's-
Yeah.
I'm a native South Florida resident, so that makes me real proud.
I like there's a big chunk of America that's part of Mexico,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and there's chunks of America that are part of Canada.
and there are
also.
chunks of Mexico that are part of
And
America
part
in
of
California.
Like the
chunks of Canada that are part of America.
Yeah, in
It's
fact,
just-
we're part of Lakeland. We're not part of the Heartland.
yeah.
Yeah,
but that's
which is
also shared by a good chunk of Canada.
Again, I would say the southern Indiana
Great,
might
great
be,
audio
Yeah.
entertainment here.
don't worry, this is for the Patreon listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway,
no, that's good.
Maybe we could throw that graphic up on the on the page. I don't know, or not.
Maybe we could make Matt do some more work.
Maybe we could do that. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You can cut this.
Thanks, Ed.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
We're cutting this?
I don't know.
No, I was going to swear a whole bunch. It's not fun now.
No, that's Ed's job.
I'm the one who says inappropriate things.
No, I was just going to swear. It wasn't going to be like in context.
Oh,
Just a bunch
okay.
of
Sure.
filth.
Mr. Fisk, do you have any thoughts on how obviously we're going to have to fix this?
Do we know how long she's here?
Long enough to get information, and then she's going to speak with Frau Koppen. I would expect a while.
So we can't write it out. All right.
I mean,
I guess we just.
do we just order some hot dogs? I mean, that's what Americans eat, right?
I mean, are hot dogs even around? What year is
Yeah,
this? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they're around.
Yeah.
As long as there's been meat, there's been terrible meat byproduct.
So you're in Belgium.
Disgusting.
This is
Hot dog country?
This is sausage
sausage
country.
country.
Yeah, no, but we have to like special order the
Used to
hot
go to a
dogs.
bar
Oh,
called
they don't
Sausage
have any
Country.
good steaks out here.
Is it a gay bar?
Yes.
Thank God.
Very gay.
Why did you even ask? Like,
Because what kind of a weird bar would it be if it wasn't a gay
I also went to a bar called. If
it's
it makes you
weirder.
If it makes you feel better, I used to go to a bar called the Back Door. That wasn't a gay bar.
See?
Yeah.
false advertising.
Surprisingly right in front of
Just a bunch of people, bunch of guys walk in like, forget this.
Right in front of a comedy club. Actually, it was weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
I don't know, just drink with her and get to know her. I guess if we lay on being pleasant to her, maybe she'll be a little nicer.
they don't cover this in basic.
Here's what we do. We all get loaded and we just see what happens.
This is the special word to our listeners, right? Where we might say things that are offensive or a little rapey.
We see what happens consensually.
Thank you. That's all I was looking for.
Oh, it's the 40s. That word wasn't thrown around a whole lot, but you know, it was implied. So, yeah, just get to know each other.
Okay.
I guess she sent over drinks. That means that she's not completely unpleasant person.
Or she just poisoned us.
She's not Catherine.
So we have our drinks go over. Let's grill her a little bit.
Why don't we invite her over here to sit at the table with us?
That's fine too.
You okay with that, Jack?
Have you turned into the grumpy dwarf?
So
Is there another? Is this like the officers' mess, or is this like there's not enough officers to have their own mess, so all the men can come in here?
Isn't this
this
the
would-
inn?
This is the inn that the military has taken over. So yeah, no, there's not an officer's mess per se. That's what the dining room / office
Yeah.
I was
is.
about to say there's 4 officers on at this place.
Yeah. So one of the men is probably in here.
Sure.
That's not bartending because
Yeah.
he can't. The bartender's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
He's important. I'm gonna wave him over,
Okay.
like throw peanuts at him. I don't know what.
You guys got peanuts?
or do this. Just move your.
You know where peanuts are from.
Peanut trees.
Yeah, I mean the South.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we throw peanuts at the Cowgirl. I get it. So I'll wave him over,
Okay.
and I assume it's
Yes.
Lancaster. No, he's dead. I'm sorry. Morley.
Oh.
All right. Morley's there.
Private, why don't you offer to handle Miss McCrea's bags and take them to her room while she grabs a drink with us? Do so nicely and show her as much difference as you would show someone of my rank. Difference is not the right.
Deference?
Deference.
It's close. It was
It was
pretty close.
Yeah. It's one little
Matt's
off.
really getting drunk.
Offer to bring her over, or to take her bags, and then
doesn't have
suggest
the
that we would be
cough
happy
syrup.
to have her join us.
Oh, and also private. She's can be hostile. So just heads up.
She's a firecracker.
Do you say that?
So Morley walks over and says, "Ma'am, I would like to offer to take your things up to your room for you and extend the invitation from the captain's table over yonder to join them, if you would like."
She takes a swig of her drink. I'm sorry, Private. What did you say your name was? Morley.
Private Morley, yes.
Morley, I appreciate that offer very much, But I have some very important documentation in my rucksack, and I just like to keep that with me. Though I will be joining the captain at his table. Do you need to? I don't know what the courtesy is over here. Do you need to go tell him that I've accepted his invitation before I go over?
No, you can. I think you can just join them. It's fine.
Okay. So she picks her hat up, puts it on, grabs her rucksack, and stuffs her stuff in there and walks over.
And you see Morley give you like the, I don't know, shrug of his shoulders and ducks out the door.
I'll say thank you, Private,
Yeah.
loudly enough that he can hear me.
Yeah.
And as she's walking up, I'll motion to the obviously empty chair, and then I'll motion for the bartender to give us another round.
Okay.
Because, that we all
So
know
you're
this
now
one's
at least
like-
3 rounds in. Yeah.
Sure.
This?
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's the German 3. Or no,
No,
Yeah,
3.
So
that's
yeah.
the German 3.
Yeah.
So you do that, and then she shoots you because
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
obviously a German spy.
We'll let her order the drinks.
Yeah.
All right. So that's
Um,
going on. What happens?
Miss McCrea, thank you for joining us.
She Rikers the chair.
Got a bad back, do you?
It's one of those like tall back chairs
Yeah.
that just
Oh, no.
fully like whips her leg
Real
over.
swing.
Real ladder back,
Yeah, yeah,
6
yeah.
foot tall chair.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hear the
Okay.
air rip.
No.
She's doing it.
She's not wearing a skirt, right? Okay, good.
No, I've got. So the funny thing about that is, like, Courtney Weld would have shown her some martial arts.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So she would have like flipped over the chair. That
That would have been funny.
except Courtney
Anyway.
Weld couldn't jump to save his life.
Right.
I want to see you roll on critical fail jumping in the chair.
It happened our like
Are they
second episode
seriously
of
high
this.
back chairs?
No.
No.
Okay. Like stools or something. Anywho,
Anyway. So yeah, you guys are talking.
thank you for
So
asking me to join you.
yeah, where exactly do you come from in the United States?
I come from Kansas.
Is that out by the mountains?
Kansas doesn't have mountains. do
Oh,
No, but it's
No,
kind
Kansas is
they?
flat.
It's flat.
It's
Right.
it's but it's also
Has,
Rockies
has
adjacent.
Wizard of Oz been written yet?
Yes.
Yes.
The movie came out in the 30s, so
Okay.
yes.
Have you ever
Was it
heard
20s?
of the?
No, it came out in the 30s.
There was a movie that came out in
Hold on, they're gonna-
1918.
Yeah.
They're going to debate this some more.
1918.
There was the first Wizard of Oz movie came out, I believe, 1918.
Oh, that's right.
But the-
Because I was watching
The
that the
silent
other.
movie.
But the one that
well, not
everyone
the other
cares
day,
about.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
It came
That's-
out in 1989. It
Wizard
starred
of Oz.
Fred Savage.
That's
That's
No.
the Wizard. Never mind.
Oh my God.
The Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland,
yeah,
Frank
Judy
Morgan,
Garland
1939.
plays Super Mario Brothers 3.
Is that the one where Judy Garland's wearing the glove?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The power
it's
glove?
so bad.
Yeah.
The ruby
And
power glove.
the Tin Man screams out, "He touched my boob."
I've not seen The Wizard.
These are all great jokes.
Yeah, I'm
all-
like none of these make sense. I'm sure they're fun. Except the Power Glove. We all know what the Power Glove is.
The Wizard is literally Fred Savage kidnaps his autistic little brother to play in a video game tournament, and the bad guy is a investigator trying to get them back home.
Oh, okay.
The
like
investigator
every
is a
other-
jerk, though. To
So
be fair.
every other '80s movie,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
This one
he's
has
only-
Christian Slater.
like in
Every
Over the
other
Top,
80s movie.
where
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone steals his own child
Right.
because he doesn't have parental or guardianship
Yeah.
rights,
Custodianship.
and the bad guys are the grandfather, who's maybe a little bit of a jerk, but isn't actually trying to do anything other than get the potentially dangerous father figure out of this kid's life by paying him lots of money for
Yeah,
it.
and Fred Savage, I think, the character was supposed to be like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
He was like kid.
No,
And
he
he
was
was like-
actually 25.
No,
No,
Fred's
no.
Fred's
These
my
are during the
age.
Wonder
She's like-
Years.
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's out by the. No, I have not seen the Wizard of Oz. I've been pretty actively on duty for the last decade or so.
No, I was gonna say, have you read the book?
No,
Okay.
that's no.
Well, it's pretty flat out there, no mountains, middle of United States. But enough about geography.
How long have you been in Britain?
It will be, I mean, so she's definitely been there for 3 years studying with Weld, but then was there any other time that she was?
No.
Okay. I've been with Courtney about 3 years here since he's been stationed over here.
Interesting.
What do you like to drink?
There you go.
You got some good whiskey around?
We drink scotch, Jack and myself.
Oh.
You'll like it.
I
You'll
mean,
like it.
In London, she would have tried it early.
Yeah, it's pretty much whiskey.
Yeah.
It's the same
So.
freaking thing.
Yeah, what do you got?
There's no name on it. It just says Scotch.
Yeah.
So we
it's a-
just have to take it on faith that it won't burn our insides out.
It's the best kind. You've not served much either, Mr. Fisk, but this is the way you drink it.
Are you guys shooting it, or you guys have ice cubes in it?
What do you mean ice cubes? I
Okay,
probably
I
have
don't
3
know.
fingers in a glass with nothing else.
All right.
Whiskey,
Why would you-
scotch, neat.
Yes.
Are you sipping it?
Yeah.
It's not much of a choice where we are probably.
Oh, you could go get some snow. Make
There's
a
plenty of
scotch
ice.
slushy.
Yum yum. Nice and watery in about 2 minutes.
Scotch cone.
Scotch cone, yeah.
That one works better.
Wow.
She would take the other glass I was sitting there and just shoot it.
Shoot the whole 3 fingers of scotch.
Yeah. It's the South. What are you talking about? No, I'm kidding.
When she finishes it, I will look over and say,
Wait. That was
"Really?
good.
Do you really do that?"
yeah. Why wouldn't she?
Okay, that's fine.
So if you came off the Jeep like that, you would have got a lot warmer of a welcome, I'll tell you that.
I look over at Jack and just raise my eyebrows.
Well, she can drink
She certainly can.
like an American.
I know plenty of.
You know many Americans around here?
I'm from Canada.
He's from basically America's hat.
I'm America's hat.
I don't know what to comment about that, but all right.
So what has Wing Commander Llewellyn been doing this whole time?
I'm
Just waiting
probably
for
working through the paperwork
with
for the day-to-day operations of the camp.
with Breckenridge.
Yep.
All right.
And
So
Who?
what's
Birkenshire.
Birkenshire.
Breckenridge.
Uh,
Hey, they
we just
got
sound
another
the
officer.
same.
Yeah, wow.
Catching up on the new
No,
troops.
that's the new guy.
Probably
Okay.
introducing them around.
All right. So we're going to fast forward to when you've done all that.
Okay.
And you get word back on the question of where Weld is. And it's confirmed that he sent Evie McCrea instead in his place. The reason is not very well explained. It's just he decided he sent her, and they apologize that you weren't notified ahead of time.
Okay.
So
All right. So I figured it's sort of a need-to-know basis thing.
more of they don't understand why he would have done it. Like they told him to do this,
Yeah.
and he sent someone in place.
Okay.
So it's different what they expected, but she checks out. So
Okay.
yeah. So you at least have word on that.
All right. So I'll probably head down to the. I'm assuming I can at least. I know they're all in the bar because it's all in the same building.
Yeah. Yeah.
You probably heard the yeehaw a couple of
It
times.
was
Yeah.
in a yeehaw, and I don't do that. I go, woo wee.
Okay, you heard the wooey.
The woo-wee, yes. So
I will keep making sure she has drinks if she wants to drink them. But I'm sipping mine because we're on freaking duty.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can get a little drunk on duty. This is the
it's the
40s.
40s.
I mean, it's not like we're carrying guns or something.
Or explosives.
All right.
I've already had
So-
4 drinks, so.
Well, you're also Italian. They're all wine. You're fine.
Mamma mia.
Here we go again.
No.
My. I can't sing
So,
anymore. It's a violation of copyright.
Anyway,
I think it'd fall under parody and fair use.
So I'll peek my
Maybe.
head in the bar, make sure everything's
And-
going all right.
everything seems to be going fine.
got her strung up like a pinata and just beating her.
How's that for hostile?
All
Who's
right.
interrupting now?
So, yeah. So you've got your.
I just got
you've got
very
word.
uncomfortable at this table.
All right. So you got word that she's legit
Okay.
and everything's fine as far as they know.
Do you want to tell us?
I'll just kind of give you a thumbs up, kind of, or nod at you as I'm.
Then I'll
walking
point
in.
at her and I'll like questioningly thumbs. Okay.
See, and I take that as he wants to bone her.
Yeah, that's
That's how I take it. They can take it however they want.
I begin flashing gang signs.
Wait, Canada has
Really
game
ahead of-
size?
Yeah.
Really ahead of your time there.
West Side. Canada.
the polar bears.
The
Yeah.
Newfies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Polar bears versus the penguins.
Yeah.
Rough Riders versus Rough Riders.
So, you guys have anything else that needs to be done?
Yeah, we're
today?
gonna befriend the crazy lady.
Okay.
We're working on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We're getting her drunk. Which
We'll
which always makes relationships better, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're in the army. I assume that's the only way it would
It's
work.
the
It's how you
solution to
bond.
and cause of all of life's problems.
Or you dig a hole and have some Germans fire at you while you stay in the hole. That also will help your bond. I don't like the second option, so we're gonna drink.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
I'd say like we'd stay there for maybe an hour or so, unless there's something else pressing that needs to go on.
There's really not. I mean,
Okay.
there's
That
there's
day,
the there's
yeah.
the idea that she needs to go see Frau Koppen.
I figured
Yeah.
you'd probably
But-
head out in the morning for that
Yeah.
one.
I mean, we get her drunk before she goes out to see Cobbin.
Yeah. Yeah. We want her resistance down when she goes to talk to the witch.
Good lord, yeah, we don't need to all get cursed when she gets all shitty with the witch. Jeez. Have I gotten my talisman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once she's had, are you just downing these drinks one at a time, or
No, I just downed the first one.
okay? So when
And
she's
then
like on her
kinda,
third, and I'm making
like
sure she's
sipping it.
drinking faster than at least me and probably Jack. So once
Well.
she's a couple of drinks in, I will pull the talisman out from under my shirt and say, Frau Koppen gave me this to help with some things. What are your impressions? And I'm not taking it off,
Psoriasis.
but I will bring it close to her so she can look at it.
All right. You want to give me an occult roll, Evie?
Yes. Ooh, 3. I would say yes.
Under 80.
Under
Yeah.
80.
Are those rainbow colored dice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are really cool.
She got
These
him
are
at Gen Con.
the pride dice. I got them at Gen Con.
Dig them. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a leather bag
Mm-hmm.
on a leather string, but
Smell.
you can
Oregano.
oregano, right? all the hallmarks of ward against evil.
Awarding.
Yeah.
Or
Probably-
your weed stash. Either one.
Probably not the most effective device you've ever seen put together, but given what you know about this lady, she's legit.
Right.
She's at least got the basics down. So
So she kind of takes it and, like, just kind of,
Squeezes it.
a little bit. So that's a right good talisman you got there. Why are you wearing it?
So earlier, you noticed I said we got off on the wrong foot, and I thought we should maybe start again. So let's try that now that we've had something to ease our frustrations. You saw the corpse that was sent back, correct?
Yes, I did.
you might the first corpse because you have sent back
You're talking
That-
about the husky corpse with the head
the
issue.
desiccated corpse.
the
yeah.
husky corpse, the
No.
fat guy
Fat dude
with
who's
some
dead.
acne, the acne guy, the nerd, the dead nerd. Yes, I've seen the dead nerd.
Though your report about his, shall we say, head injuries wasn't as bad as I anticipated.
I would guess that if you went and saw him now, his head injuries would be gone. And I would bet that if you fed him a little bit of blood, he would not be as desiccated as he is now.
She keeps her eyes on you, but then she's like reaching down and getting her notebook out.
Feel free to take notes. I will tell you what I know, but it is not the entirety of the information.
Evie was on the train with the vampire bats.
Those were fire bats, and they are nothing like vampires. They are bursts of fire.
Okay, got you. Because you called them
Fire
vampire.
vampires.
Yeah,
Fire
they're called
vampire.
fire vampires, but
Okay.
they are in no way, shape, or
Okay.
form a vampire.
Okay, got it.
Some things in Call of Cthulhu are misnamed.
Crappy branding.
You right?
Stupid Lovecraft.
So, Jack and I, as well as 2 other men, went into a castle in Bulgaria. After fighting our way through some soldiers and scientists that were doing something with blood, we pulled back a curtain to find this vampire, or this. I'm sorry. Do I know that?
No.
I know. I do. Coppin told me it's a vampire.
Oh, yes, she did. You're right.
We found this corpse hanging above our commanding officer who had been captured.
Other way around. Your officer is hanging above him.
Sure.
Drip feeding into the vampire.
This corpse you have in England, I'm hoping it's in England. I don't want it any closer than it is now. Is a vampire of all of those stories. I'm sure you've read.
Like Stroker.
Yeah.
Bram Stoker.
Stroker.
What did I say?
Stoker.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like,
Stroker.
where are you at? That's a different.
He's thinking about
That's a different
he's thinking
movie.
about my talisman.
Stoker. Yes. Yes.
That's a Chuck Tingle book.
So, as you understand from myth and legend, I'm sure some, if not all of those things apply. I'm not sure quite what does apply. Frau Coppin was unsure too.
What? Sorry.
When I shot the creature, it's believed that some of its blood got into my mouth, and now I am undergoing changes.
She backs up from you just a little bit, like it's.
Change.
I've noticed hair growing in weird places.
Voice is getting deeper.
I also have
Why do girls look so funny to me now?
I have also been experiencing dreams that have been attempting to influence my decisions.
Dreams.
Dreams.
Okay, we've encountered that before. What are your dreams like?
Mostly a red-eyed creature telling me to do things, and it's sometimes when I'm awake I'll hear its voice as well.
Now, does this red-eyed creature look like? Well, I mean, if you know the mythology, does this red-eyed creature look like the creature that was in the castle?
John,
No.
that's a negative.
The eyes are the same, but
The eyes are the same, but the rest of the appearance of the physical body are not. I would assume that perhaps if the desiccated corpse were to reinvigorate, perhaps they would look the same. But as of the last time I saw him, and from the sounds of it, the last time you saw him, no, they don't look the same physically.
Okay. So when I left it, is it still like rejuvenating? Are we gonna fill in that part?
Yeah, we're going to leave that. Like I said, you suspect that it was healing itself,
Okay.
but the feeding of it had been suspended by orders of MI5
Okay.
higher ups.
And so, the Frau helped you with this and said that your talisman will stop it?
The Frau, after we came back from this latest adventure into Germany, I went and spoke with her while we were in Germany in the number station. I killed several men by draining their blood. And I'm saying
but they were going to kill us. And
She's,
yeah,
she
I'm
looks
saying
at you guys.
I'm saying this loud enough so that the table can hear us, not the
Yeah.
bartender.
All right.
They were all Nazis.
What do you mean drain their blood?
I mean, I bit them on their necks,
Just
and
gets away a little bit more.
their blood filled my mouth, and I swallowed it. It caused my wounds to heal.
Now, I'm just, the GM is just going to insert
Sure,
this
sure.
concept into Matt's mind. Do you want to point out that you were also bullet ridden and near death when you were overtaken by these
Sure,
urges?
that's a good point. During that time, Mr. Fisk and I had entered a murder vader.
Yeah.
We had gone into an elevator, and Mr. Fisk had not been shot, very fortunately, but I had taken the brunt of the bullets and was near death when this happened. Frau Koppen believes that because I was so close, the vampire was able to exert control over me and force me to drink against my normal will. I don't have any interest in drinking blood.
So you
Although
think
from time to time it does sound kind of good.
the shared blood experience is what drives your?
I think that it has
Need
some
to
sort of
feed?
control over me because I am some sort of spawn of it now.
Well, we'll definitely have to look into this more. Hey, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't disclose this in his letters, I wouldn't have known about it to research it.
Right.
Correct. Okay.
So all you know at this point is that sounds exactly like that book that Bram, what's his name, wrote.
Yeah.
So I will say that this is perhaps the worst of what we've experienced.
Not the time travel.
We
Well,
all
I
came
can
back
understand.
relatively unscathed from the time. That was actually
Yeah.
a pretty positive experience on our end. This is probably the worst. I hope you can understand why when you came with the aggressiveness in the conversation towards us, why we would be hesitant to share things like this. Because while you aren't thinking, wow, this guy sure is crazy, you're one of a very select few that would not believe that. Including, other than the wing commander, my superiors.
Right. Well, I do apologize for any discomfort that I may have caused to any of you, including you, since Courtney has spoke so highly of you. But I had assumed that you were all informed of my arrival and what I was here to do. And unfortunately, I did not know your situation. But we want to resolve this quickly so that, the mean German guy over there will not get his hands on any more of this. He is working to overtake the world. I have no doubt that you know that.
Are we talking about Hitler now?
Yes.
The mean German guy?
Yes.
I think
No, the other mean German.
The other.
I mean, we got Oscar Richter too. He's not a nice guy.
It's true.
So that's the extent of the worst encounter we've had. We did see some men turn into fish guys and chase us to a boat, and we killed a bunch of them, I hope.
Yeah.
I'll write up on that.
That one we were a little more forthcoming about because it had little to do with any of us going crazy.
Yeah, you just threw Oliver Williams under the bus.
He
got bitten by a fish guy.
Yeah, he
turned
was a
into
werefish.
guy. I
No, he
mean,
just was a werefish. He didn't get bitten. He was.
also he
a
had
werefish?
he also had an identical twin in that town. That's not our fault.
Inbreeding.
There was okay. I remember that part of the
Right, okay.
report.
So I'm sure that we'll be more than willing to be forthcoming if you have other questions or want to talk about it more.
Is there any other experiences you guys have not been forthcoming about that may have seen?
I think we left out that the Wendigos were. I'm sorry, we knew those were Wendigos, right?
Yes.
Okay, we're taking the children from the town. I think we were careful about not putting that in the report so we didn't get blamed.
Would
Oh,
you
no,
have put
we-
in the official report, but you wouldn't have told the villagers.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
there you
didn't tell them that the Wendigo were our troops, our
Right,
soldiers.
right,
We
right,
told
right.
them the Wendigo took the children.
And the
But-
missing troops who were the Wendigos. That are
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So
So, how did your troops get possessed by the wind? I mean, like, how'd that happen?
it's our understanding that
Cannibalism.
that kind of thing happens from cannibalism. It's some sort of curse. I don't know. It's a Canadian thing.
So your guys ate other guys?
Before they came to our troop, they were stranded out in the cold
I mean,
weather.
This would be the era of don't ask, don't tell, right?
This is far before that.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Before there were gay people in the military.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
That was
Or in the FBI.
that was an obvious joke. I was making a joke.
So, I'd say that tomorrow, it will be my impression that the wing commander, we just call him the commander. The commander is going to take us out to Frau Koppen. The intent was to have Mr. Weld learn from her. She has a lot
I'll
of
be
information.
taking that.
Well, you may be here a while, so
Right.
having a good working relationship would be rather important.
She just looks all of you. I agree.
'Kay.
I totally agree.
Let's drink to it.
So do we?
To agreeing.
To new relationships.
And that too.
To our wives and girlfriends, may they never meet.
She just stares at you.
My family's dead.
My whole family's dead. I watched them get.
That too.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume we tie one on for the rest of the night, and then
Okay.
Yeah.
wake up the next morning.
Sure.
Good British
Sounds good.
constitutions mean that we do not have hangovers.
Okay. Are you drinking to not get a hangover? Or are
Yeah,
you
I'm drinking to not get a hangover. I will
Okay.
enjoy myself, but not.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we'll
All right.
exchange terrible horror stories with her.
Sure.
And
Oh,
then when she starts
yay.
talking and explaining them, it might freak us out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
You might
Tell you-
realize that she's on par and someone
yeah,
to be
sure,
respected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I respected her until she talked over me.
I'm going to tell you the one about, what's Scott's character's name?
Wilkinson.
Wilkinson. I want to tell you about
Wilkerson.
Wilkerson.
the story about Wilkerson and how he was having those dreams and his chest melted off. And
Those are good times. That doesn't sound fun.
His chest melted off.
yeah,
Yeah.
his chest melted off. He'd been cursed. And
Like
then-
down to the bone, or
Just like a dinner plate size section
yeah,
of skin.
it just kind of melted down his chest.
Colin's
Yeah, it was
taking
very
notes.
ew.
And then there was this one time in a cave. We met Nitocris. She's that
I would like to.
ludicrous.
Nitocris
I would like to argue that
priestess,
the
cultist.
the tunnels
priestess?
underneath the Sphinx are not a cave. They're
Tunnels.
an intricate tunnel work that led to a large chamber full of evil.
Which wait for this. The professor in our party, he had found out at that time because his parents were there that they were cultists as well.
Okay, you can go ahead and merge those all together. That's
Wasn't
fine.
that it?
No, totally different time. That was a mountain.
Oh, this was in a mountain in
Yeah,
Africa.
that was a cave.
That was a cave.
See?
To be fair, Egypt is in Africa.
That's true.
See? Where? Oh, was that Kenya?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kenya was amazing.
the mountain of the Black Wind.
Mountain of the Black Wind. You ever been there?
No.
Ever
Don't
been
go.
to Kenya?
Can't recommend it.
Not a tourist destination.
And the Starbucks at the base camp is just the service is horrible.
Service is horrible.
Their Wi-Fi is really slow.
All right.
So,
Horror
I
stories.
bet it is.
Horror stories exchanged.
all right, John. What do
Right,
we do
so
the next day?
The next day, you guys all pile into a truck and drive out to Frau Koppen's.
Sure.
Okay.
Road trip.
So it takes a bit to get there, and then you are going to have to walk a little bit of ways, just because the road isn't wide enough for the truck to get there the whole way. And you come up to this cabin, this house
Mm-hmm.
built out in the wilderness, reasonably well appointed. And an ancient woman opens the door and greets everyone. Ah, you're back. What's on the agenda for the day?
Well, Frau Koppen, we actually have someone who would like to speak with you.
Oh,
Someone who has far more knowledge than we do of events surrounding events like those that were surrounding this town.
And she sort of shambles forward and just takes Evie's face in both hands, kind of
goes.
turns, looks. Indeed. Well, come in. I suppose I'll put the kettle on. And she has a thick French, German, Belgian accent.
Flemish accent.
Yeah. And she turns around and walks inside and says, okay, find a seat where you can. And except for, obviously, there's the one big comfy chair that is hers.
Right.
And should not be sat in right next to the fireplace. Says, okay, so introductions. I know the gentleman. Who are you, dear?
Ma'am, my name is Evie McCrea from Kansas. I'm here to help these gentlemen with the situation that they've run into, and I hear you are an expert wisdom about some events, and I'd like to speak with you about those.
Very well. Do you have any specific questions?
Does
To
she
start
have any
with?
specific
I
questions?
don't know. I mean, this is a font of, lore that you've not encountered. So, are there any specific topics?
So when you guys reported about meeting with her, did you report what you met with her about, and did she have any knowledge about those things that you met with her about?
We would have reported that she was helpful in the Wendigo incident, and that she seemed to know more about the old world. That could be helpful.
Okay.
That's about as detailed as it got, because that's about as much as we knew.
So I understand you have some knowledge about what could be considered the old world.
That's true.
And my question specifically revolve around God worship of beings that may be older than the earth itself. Do you have any knowledge of anything like that?
I know about the old religions that have been practiced in the area.
Can you speak to what they're worshiping? What type of gods those would be?
Sure. She goes on about basically the old the woodland gods, fairies and elves and things.
So the normal
Basically,
mythology.
yeah. Basically, she gives you the spiel about about quote unquote pagan religions.
Pagan religions. Okay.
That would have been that have been replaced by Catholicism in the modern era.
Okay. Did you guys tell her about the obelisk?
Maybe. I don't think we talked about time travel at all.
No.
We showed her the picture.
Did you?
Yeah, when she was asked about it, we had a picture. We showed it to her. Yeah.
Okay.
Did she recognize it? Did she know anything about it?
Oh, you meant her? I meant we're talking to you. I'm sorry.
Frau,
Never mind.
no, the
Sorry.
Frau.
Copper.
Ignore me.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. The Frau.
Would you have mentioned anything about the obelisk to
there
Frau
wasn't
Copper?
any
No.
reason to. We were there for the vampire stuff.
Okay.
Well, I do know about those mythologies, or those religions that some people follow. I'm talking about maybe something otherworldly, maybe a religion that's not of this earth, that something is trying to control people.
Says there are entities that are beyond this world that have to be guarded against.
Yes.
That there are ways to ward against intrusions from them into this world. Yes.
Yes. Have you met maybe anyone, not directly, that have worshipped these entities?
Not to my direct knowledge.
How did you come about the knowledge to ward?
It's passed down from my mother and my mother's mother.
So you have a recording of these.
I know what I know. It is a, she explains it somehow like an oral tradition. Like she
Passed
could,
down verbally. Okay.
it's not she can't hand you a book to read.
Right. Well, I want to explain a situation to you, and you tell me if you would have the ability to help ward against that. And then she goes into the story of when you were chained to an obelisk, and the sky opened up, and the god was coming
Ian
down.
Byrne was chained to an obelisk years
No,
after his.
no, when Johnny was.
Yeah,
When Ian Byrne was chained to the obelisk. When
years
the chair
after.
incident.
Sure, yeah. Ian, love that story.
And she explains in detail about the priest and the cultists that were there, the chanting, the obelisk, the whole situation, and then what was happening at that point to bring the god in.
And then her response to when you have someone actively trying to cause an incursion like you're describing, the magics I can teach are not as effective as you would want. You need to counter that magic with similar magic. This would the knowledge I have would keep, shall we say, naturally occurring crossover from happening. I could, as long as no one was working against the magic, it would hold and prevent an invasion.
To say if an incursion was occurring in regards to them trying to come over by themselves and not with the help of others.
Of a native of our realm.
Right. And so then she would explain the dream world that we'd gone into.
When did you go into the dream world? That's the other
no.
That's the other
God
yeah.
bless it. I keep mixing up stories. Okay, so I haven't ever had, but I would have read about it.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
There is a man, a Dr. Leon and a Van Dyke, who lives in a village near here that has consulted me on more than one occasion on this topic. He might know more about what you're asking about.
Okay.
If you wish to go speak with him. I found his presence unsettling and will not welcome him back to my home.
Okay.
But if you're seeking that type of knowledge to prevent such things from happening, he might be able to tell you more than I can.
Thank you for that. We will definitely go and visit him. Would you be willing to teach the warding? Pass it along?
Yes, I should be finding an apprentice. I'm getting on in years, and the knowledge would die with me if it isn't passed on soon. So I am looking for a student, yes.
Would you mind if I stayed?
We can try you out, see if we'll get along.
Good luck with her.
Yeah, gotta get her loaded first.
Whoa. Yeah, I would very much appreciate that. I have been a good student throughout my life, and I'm learning new things every day, especially about the what we call the occult.
All right.
So I would appreciate that if I would be able to study under you.
I think we can make arrangements for that.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I don't think I have any other questions in regards to, spells or anything that would be able to help us with their religious faculty, trying to help bring them through gates. Or, I did have a question. Have you, within the religions in the surrounding area, or anything that you've dealt with, maybe what's it called? Meditation. Meditation's been able to travel through time.
Through time?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
That I wouldn't want to mess with that. I mean, there are ways to view the past, to get to consult the spirits and ask about things that have happened before and things that will happen in the future, but
No way to interact with those times.
no.
Okay.
And doing so would be dangerous to begin with, so
Right. Right.
I wouldn't recommend doing it.
Okay. Gentlemen, I've asked all the questions that I need to.
Okay.
I think it would behoove us to go search out this Mr. Van Dyke.
Sure.
Is he the gentleman that lived out in the woods?
Nope.
No? Okay.
No, this is she explains that there's another village south of here,
Okay.
more or less, that that he works out of. He's a doctor that came in search of answers for looking for cures, what we would call homeopathic cures, and proving their quality and whatnot. So,
Right.
And he stuck around in this village a couple years ago. So, anybody have anything else for Frau Koppen at this time?
When would I be able to come back and visit you?
If you're going to be my apprentice, you should, as soon as you are prepared, you can come back and we'll begin teaching. You're staying in town?
She'll be staying
at the moment. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Then, whenever you are ready to start learning, you can come back as early as tomorrow, as far as I'm concerned. But if you want to go talk to Van Dyke, then you need to go. It's going to take you a few days to do that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'll prepare some lessons, I suppose.
Thank you. I appreciate it again.
All right. That is another good place for us to stop this episode. Don't forget we have other podcasts at nerdsdom.com, and you should check those out. We'll talk to you guys real soon. And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Remember, you can email us at nerdsdomain@gmail.com or find us over on Facebook and Twitter at facebook.com/nerdsdomain and twitter.com/nerdsdomain. You can also check out our site at nerdsdom.com. Be sure to sign up for our newsletter while you're there. You can head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. We want to thank Passion Nerdly for our music. Don't forget, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsdomain and check out our shirts at TeePublic.